Hello everyone and welcome to another game I played on Ptcgo. For this match I'm going to be trying out a modified version of the Charizard deck I played earlier. This time I'm teching in Pyroar, but I still have the Charizard and the Delphox, so let's see what goes on. So we're going to see the coin flip. Looks like it's tails, and I'm actually going to decide not to go first on the off chance I can pull off a turn 1 attack with Charizard. Doesn't quite look like I have the cards to do so, unfortunately. And here we're waiting to see what my opponent does. I'm going to start off with a Charizard, and my opponent shows a Shelmet and a Verbank. He's going to play a town map. Attaches a Psychic to Shelmet, so this is some form of Trevenant Accelgor, or maybe Gothitelle, but he benches a Duskull. Here I'm going to get a Litleo after an N that my opponent played. I don't want to Juniper my hand away since I do want to keep those Pyroar in my hand, and I do want to play Lysander eventually. So if I can avoid doing that, I will. So my opponent attaches a DCE to Shelmet, and he's got a Sycamore. He gets an Accelgor, so he'll be able to deck and cover this turn. He benches a Phantom, so no Trevenant in play yet, which is good for me. But deck and cover will paralyze and poison me, and he's going to send Phantom into the active spot. So I'm going to bench another Charizard, evolve into Pyroar, and unfortunately here I have to Juniper, getting rid of a Lysander and another Pyroar, so that's kind of a painful one because Lysander can really help you break the lock once they have it in place. So off of this Juniper, I'm going to get a Muscle Band, attach it to Pyroar, attach a Fire to my bench Charizard. Since the active is still poisoned and paralyzed, I will play a Professor's Letter to get 2 fires out of the deck. I should Ultra Ball them here, but I'm sort of fearing I may not have access to energy acceleration, so I might as well keep energy in hand when I have it. Here my opponent evolves into Trevenant. I'm going to play a Startling Megaphone and bench a Mew, and then Skyla. I'm not sure what for. It's actually a Sycamore, so my opponent probably doesn't have much to go by, but the item lock is in play. So here I'm going to play a Fire Energy onto Charizard and then just Chorus for 5. So pretty weak. I don't run Rare Candy, so I will have to evolve manually, which is also good when you play this type of deck since you don't rely on the tools. So I'm going to evolve into Praxin and bench another Litleo and just end my turn since I can't do anything. So here I pretty much conceded that the active Charizard is going to go down. I should have Ultra Balled for Keldeo since I do play that in this deck, and it's also really good against Accelgor since I run 2 Keldeos. My opponent is now going to Tree Slam the active for 60 and hit 2 on the bench. Now my opponent has 2 Shelmets on the bench, but no Accelgor going yet. Here I'm debating what to send up. I can set up Pyroar, Litleo, really. I'm going to set Litleo just as a sacrifice here. My opponent's already got 2 prizes, but I still haven't got set up quite yet. I will attach another to Charizard and evolve into Delphox. So now I can Mystical Fire and draw. So that helps with the item lock, so I can run through stuff perhaps a little bit more quickly. And my opponent's turn, he's going to play a Level Ball for an Accelgor, evolving one of those bench Shelmets. But he doesn't have a Float Zone on the active Trevenant yet, so that's good for me. Unless he wants to manually retreat. He's going to Evo Soda into another Accelgor and then Skyla, probably for the Float Stone, and that's exactly what we see. So he'll be able to retreat, but he doesn't. He's instead going to Tree Slam, so that's an interesting choice there. That's 10 short of the knockout for Litleo. I'm going to attach a DCE onto Charizard and then N. I get another Fennekin. I'm going to bench that and I will Mystical Fire here, getting me 1 more card. nothing useful, so I'll just pass the turn. Here I just want him to knock out Litleo. I don't want to put anything up that will knock out in between turns, since that'll allow him to paralyze something else in the active. So here he's going to Tree Slam again, knocking out Litleo and just spreading damage. This time onto Charizard and Litleo. He's already got damage on Delphox. So if he does manage to get some damage swap going on here with, or sorry, Sinister Hand going on, I will be in big trouble. So I'm going to attach onto a Pyroar and then just Combustion Blast, for the knockout, and get myself an Ultra Ball. My opponent's going to send up a Mew, but unfortunately here, he doesn't actually have another Trevenant to send up. So he's going to level ball for a Phantom, attach a Floatstone onto it, and attach a Psychic to Mew, and then N, bringing himself down to 3 cards and me to 5. But since I do have Delphox, the N is not really adversely affecting me all that much. But we do see a deck and cover here. He sends up Phantom, but here I can just Ultra Ball for a Keldeo potentially to rush in and retreat. So here first I'm going to level ball, get myself another Braixen, just in case I want additional draw power. And because I can't really, well, I won't be able to play level ball if the lock gets reinstilled. So now I can Super Rod stuff back into my deck, and then just Ultra Ball this Pyroar and a Fiery Torch, getting myself a Keldeo, and I'll be able to here Mystical Fire, drawing 5 additional cards, and hopefully one of them is a Floatstone. Unfortunately one of them isn't, but I do get a DCE, so this will allow me to rush in and manually retreat. But here it's really, really key that I manage to get rid of this Phantom here, since he won't be able to lock me in place. So here I can actually just do it with a wing attack. I'm going to attach a Muscle Band onto Pyroar and just wing attack for the knockout and take my second prize. So here my opponent sends up a Mew. He can deck and cover here, and he would get the knockout. But we see a Chorus, another Phantom hits the bench, and followed by another Mew. So still no Trevenant, which is good, and I think at least one DC has hit the discard pile already. But we're going to see a Computer Search. I'm not sure what for. Maybe, oh, it looks like a Psychic Energy is what he went for. So here he can deck and cover. And it looks like he's going to do that. Shuffling Mew back into the deck. He promotes Duskull. And my Charizard hits the discard pile. So here I'm debating what to send up. I can send up Pyroar. But here I'm going to choose Keldeo. In case I do get the Floatstone, I can retreat. And that's actually what I top deck. So I look out here. I can retreat Keldeo. I'm debating whether or not to play a supporter here or use Mystical Fire first. And I guess I'm going to, I don't know, I want to play in. That's the route I'm going to go. I draw 4 here. I do get another Charizard, which is kind of what I wanted. And unfortunately I don't really have enough energy in hand to attack. I can Dazzling Machine for something, but I won't be able to really get the energy on this turn anyway. So I'm debating if that's a good idea. But I do want to get my Lysander back. So that's actually what I think I'm going to do with this DCE. I could get a Blacksmith, but I think Lysander is better in the long run, just because it'll allow me to destroy his locking ability by taking out critical Pokemon. And I'm just going to retreat into Charizard since he can knock that out, and then Mystical Fire. I get a Fire Energy. I'll attach it to the active Charizard. I get a Level Ball, which I think I'm just going to burn here. And I draw nothing, and I'm going to end my turn. So here I'm hoping my opponent doesn't get a Trevenant out. Doesn't look like he has Duskull in the active stuck there. I'm going to Ultra Ball here, getting rid of a Float Stone and a Fiery Torch for another Delphox this time. Or actually, no, for a Pyroar. I end up going for that. And I will use Mystical Fire. Be able to draw 4 more cards. Here I'm finally going to play a Blacksmith here, using it to attach 2 energy to the Charizard. It's cool energy acceleration here. And I'll attach 1 onto Pyroar, and I'll just wing attack for the knockout. And I still have the Lysander here in my hand, so that's pretty cool. My opponent, however, just needs to take 1 more prize. So he has Accelgor. He's going to use Deck and Cover, and he has another Accelgor in the wings with a DCE already attached, so that's a bit scary. He sends up Phantom. Fortunately, the lock is not in effect, but I can brush in here to clear the poison and the status conditions. And I will send up Charizard, since he can get the knockout here without risking a Deck and Cover return knockout. I'm going to Lysander to bring up that Accelgor, knock it out, and prevent him from being able to poison me next turn, since he is left with only Mews and Phantoms, and those can't do anything all by themselves. He's going to send up Mew, and then end me. Again, this doesn't really do much to me. He's going to put down a Shelmet, so here all I need is a Fire Energy, so I'm going to play down this Delphox in case I need to draw that many more cards. My opponent says GG, sort of expecting me to win, but it's not guaranteed. I will play the Chorus, and I do draw a Fire Energy. So with that, I can take the game and use Combustion Blast for knockout and the win. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.